He's crazy like Jack Bauer. His name is Forrest Power. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, YouTube. Mass debates regarding gender have raged in every dark corner of the globe for the past decade now. Admittedly, some people have used these arguments to urge ridiculous views ranging from flat-out transphobia to a level of gender neutrality that would literally shake the basis of what we have stereotypically considered normal throughout the course of human history. This video won't be used as a forum for the great gender debate of our time, but will rather be limited to one sole topic, that of the world's most infamous spy, James Bond. Gaining more traction than an astronaut's boot in a magnetic room, Daniel Craig controversially came out this week and declared that he thought the central character of James Bond should, in fact, continue to be played by a male. Naturally, this viewpoint has been met by both fans and critics of this stance, but how should the world actually feel about this? I can't vouch for the globe in its entirety, but I can talk about my experiences of the Bond character and why I feel that we should firmly stay true to its roots and keep James Bond as a male. Since the hairy-chested Sean Connery of the 1960s stepped into the franchise's starring role, the character of Bond has been heralded as arguably the world's greatest misogynist. The womanising nature of Bond films from the 60s and up to and including Pierce Brosnan's iterations during the 1990s have been long talked about as nothing more than sexist propaganda. Even Judi Dench, as M herself, referred to the character as a relic of the Cold War and a sexist dinosaur in a moment that broke the fourth wall in GoldenEye back in the early 1990s. But since then, the character has had to partake in a makeover in line with the way in which society has changed. Gone were the posters of 4 or 5 Bond girls draped over 007, and instead now new powerful female leads were cast, and they were every bit as big and as strong and as fierce as Bond himself. Characters such as Vesper Lynd, a true highlight of Casino Royale, or more recently Madeline Swan in Spectre, have proved more than a match for Bond himself. Thus, quite rightly, the era of flat-out misogyny is over. One historic quality that is definitely outdated in 2021. But what of gender itself in the James Bond franchise? I've got a collection of childhood memories under lock and key, sitting around with my dad watching a male James Bond on screen. That will always be James Bond to me. He was written as a male character originally by Ian Fleming, and I think that we should stick closely to match the source material as much as possible. Otherwise, the character ceases to be James Bond and becomes something else. Now, that's not to say that I don't think there is a place in Hollywood for a potential female lead in a spy film or a thriller, but what you don't have to do is invade pre-established characters to arrive at a new box office star. You can just build one from scratch, just as the Bond franchise has done over the past few years. To me, it's becoming increasingly clear that Hollywood is seemingly obsessed with giving all franchises new twists in order to freshen them up. The Ghostbusters rehash was a failure due to the casting of female leads betraying the iconic memories created by the likes of Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis. It's not cool to mess with the past, and it's not cool to retcon something that people hold dear and true. In truth though, a reboot with a female James Bond would likely be down to the fact that big corporations don't want to take risks on new franchises. They'd rather borrow from old established ones. However, the history of James Bond is something that's very personal to me. It's something that I've grown up with, something that I do hold dear, and whilst I accept that the character did need modernising, I feel that we've had that in the form of Daniel Craig's superb entries into this franchise, and I genuinely applaud him for giving us a new take on this character and breathing new life into James Bond as a man. But you don't need to betray the origins of the character to achieve this effect. If you're someone that feels strongly about James Bond continuing to be a man, you're not some fossil with divisive views on the changing nature of gender in society. You might just be someone that wants to see the source material respected, and you know what? That is alright. This isn't a gender debate, it's more about holding on to something beloved, something nostalgic, and understanding that the character has already undergone radical changes to suit the justifiably politically correct agenda of 2021. Let's not lose sight though of who the character was intended to be in the first place. I'm all for more equality in society. Only a few days ago, I was reading more statistics about the pay gap that exists in the world between men and women, and I do think it's genuinely shocking that, as a society that prides itself as leaving our caveman roots behind, that a lot of females don't enjoy the same life chances to be successful as some of their male counterparts. Clearly, that is wrong. But not every topic of conversation needs to be turned into a debate about gender. I'd be happy to watch a new franchise from the same sort of genre as James Bond with a female lead. There's no shortage of fantastic female actresses out there that could no doubt pull off an awe-inspiring acting performance. But this is something that needs to be built up over time and not just ripped off or stolen. The historical character of James Bond has been constructed over a period of nearly 100 years since Ian Fleming first put pen to paper, and every step of the way that construction has been very much male. The author intended for the character to be male, and I don't think we should betray his wishes. Besides, I am also becoming a little bit jaded by Hollywood's attempt to borrow success from existing film franchises without trusting in creative ideas in order to start new ones from scratch. So there you have it, guys. What do you think about this topic? Do you think there should ever be a female James Bond, or are you very much in agreement with me that we should keep the character of Bond very much male? If you have made it this far through the video, feel free to drop us a like, as that does help me immensely. But also, and more importantly, feel free to drop me a comment about how you feel about this situation. If you have enjoyed this video and do want to listen to some more interesting, thought-provoking debates on a wide range of zany topics, go and listen to Joe Rogan's podcast. But alternatively, if you have enjoyed the ramblings of this high school teacher from Northern England, feel free to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss any future videos. Once again, thank you very much for watching this video today, guys. I'm Forest Power, and this has definitely been emotional.